Okay, if I can have your attention, we'll get the program started this evening. First off, good evening and welcome parents, grandparents, athletes, and guests to our annual Winter Sports Awards and Recognition Program. Also, we would like to welcome our Board of Education. At this time, I'd like to say a few thanks to a few people who helped throughout the course of this winter sports season. Dr. Sharp and the administration and our staff here at Dexter High School. Also to Mrs. Crowley for filming the games, making the placemats, and she helped make the program stuff for the sectional game this past weekend. Also to Mrs. Sapavado and the choir students for singing the national anthem. To Mr. Rybo and the jazz band, providing music entertainment throughout the games. Also to Mr. Mike Evans and all the custodial personnel who helped keep the place clean and orderly for us to participate in our activities up there at the PEC. Also, I'd like to thank a few other people who help out behind the scenes, sort of like they're on the scores table. Doug Cox, I think Mr. Cox is back here today, sitting with us. Also, Lloyd Hyden, Bill Hatton, Amy Simmons, Don Wyndham, Chuck Powers, Kim Walner, Eric Bowles, Steve Sparlin, and Coach Sneed. I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but there's a lot of people who help do a lot of things here. Also, I just remembered, look head up, I see somebody. Barry McEwen back here. Thank you, Barry. Appreciate it. All your help and stuff, keeping the scorebooks, stuff like that, the clock, all other kinds of things for us. Also, I'd like to thank the media. They do a great job of supporting and pushing stuff for our athletes here at Dexter High School. We have Dustin Ward, the Daily Statesman, Steve Laughlin, the Showing Times. We have Mr. Tyler Wagner over here from White Sea TV. So I'd like to thank him as well. This evening we were here to enjoy this bill. We'd like to thank our booster clubs. We'll give them a big hand for the bills provided to us. Also, I'd like to thank the booster club for all the things they provide for our student athletes, different equipment and different things like that to help out our programs. So that takes care of all the things I'd like to throw out here this evening. So at this time, we'll get the program going with our first coach and stuff. That'll be Mrs. Everett. She will come forward and talk about the dance squad. Come forward, sir.
All right, thank you. We've had a great dance season this year. I had a good, talented group of dancers. I want to especially thank the parents for their support. I know ferrying the children back and forth is not always the most fun thing to do, but it is appreciated that they get to practices on time. You know, you're always there to pick them up afterward. They get to the games on time. They're always there to be supportive and for them. And I greatly appreciate that, and I know the girls do as well. I do want to thank the administration for their supportive dance team. I would like to thank Coach Steve and Mr. Sparlin for running the sound system during the game so that the girls have music to dance to, because that's very important, and I know that it always goes very smoothly, and I always trust that they're going to do a great job up there. I want to thank Dee Laughlin for the great pictures that she always puts on Facebook, and make sure she tags me in those so that I can always make sure the girls see those too. I want to thank Mrs. Kirkley and Mrs. Emery for collaborating with the dance team this year and performing with us. I also want to thank the very talented dancers that I had, especially the four who also acted as choreographers this year. Micah, Caroline, Kaylee, and Taylor came up with all the routines, and they did a tremendous job. I'm looking forward to a great year next year. All right. So, girls, when I call you, please come up and get your certificate. Brooke Anderson. Actually, I'm just going to have all of you come up that are here, and I'll just go ahead and call out the names, and Kirkley and Ms. Emery will pass out the certificates. Brooke Anderson, Haley Anderson, Kelly Ash, Michaela Gard, Hannah Gibson, Jackie Tiger, Kaylin Leah, Angel Mays, Melissa McEwen, Chelsea Mullins, Kaylee Murdoch, Caroline Powers, Megan Simmons, and Micah Sutton.
Congratulations. Thank you, ladies. May I have a seat? Appreciate it. Up next is the boys basketball. First, just want to go Coach Dowdy cannot make it tonight, so he has a little feature he wants me to provide to his assistant coaches. It says, I would like to thank Coach Williamson and Coach McGowan and their families for their tireless sacrifice and support this year. You're both good young coaches, but even better young men. I feel fortunate to have had the opportunity to get to know you personally over the last 9 months. Thank you both for teaching these guys the game, but most importantly, you are outstanding role models for our team. Thank you, coaches. This time, Coach Williams.
All right. I just want to say thank you to all the parents that transported your young athletes around all summer and during the duration of our season. It makes it pretty easy on a coach to know that your players are going to be there on time and when they're supposed to be there, and when they're picked up and they're supposed to be there, you know, we kind of held them a little longer than we have to. Okay. Did you hear me? Good. Kind of? No? All right, I'll restart. All right, I just want to say thank you to all the parents that transported your young athletes around all summer long and during the duration of our season. It makes it easier on us coaches knowing that our players are going to be there on time when they're supposed to be, and picked up on time whenever they're supposed to be picked up, even though you might have waited in the parking lot 15, 20 minutes longer than you should have. It's definitely been an adventure with this young group. Only having 4 sophomores and the rest being freshmen, it's been a tough year for most games. I thought we definitely improved in some areas. I believe that we will continue to improve throughout the offseason. We as coaches, we think that betterment of the team is the yet to come. We still have a long way to go for our JV group. I think they'll reach that by the time they're seniors. This group, what's going to make them successful is their drive and competitiveness. They're built for great success down the road, and that alone will allow them to win the close games. Now, as I call your name, please come up and receive your certificate. Okay, just come up and let me call your name. All right. All right, while they're coming up, I do have 2 certificates to hand out. Coach McGowan actually came up with this one. We both thought it was a really good idea. It's to 2 JV guys that come in the mornings. They always put the extra work in on Mondays and Thursdays with myself. We come in with 2 varsity players, and then every once in a while we have a few more come up. They were always there. One of them was there by 6 o'clock, 6:15 every morning. The other one would drag in about 15 minutes later. But these 2 guys, they were our water boys and players' assistants during the Christmas tournament. They always want to be part of helping this team, and they never said no to anything. And that will go to 110% award goes to Ben Sindel and Coach Kelly. Now, as I call your name, give them away. All right, Landon Henson, Isaiah Hightower, Gabe Jackson, Dawson Casting, Joe Kelly, Ryan Mayo, Trevor McDonald, Bo McMillan, Jake Rice, Ben Sindel, Steve here, no Steve, Peyton Tennant, and Marcus Woodson. Wait, Marcus. Wait. All right. Thank you.
At this time, Coach McGowan will talk about the varsity boys basketball. Once again, I just want to thank all the parents for getting the players practices and this summer on time. A lot of us coaches don't have to worry about that. First off, I want to thank Doug Cox for keeping the book for us this year. Thanks for not only keeping the book, but for you giving us a limited amount of fireballs, gum, medicine, you name it, that guy's got it. our managers, Skylar Lott and Jack Worley. Jack is an awesome camera guy, and Skylar always has water there on time, so that's nice. Now for what we're here for tonight, varsity. We want to thank you guys for your hard work and all the time you put in this season. We made great strides this year, and now even better days are ahead for us. We had some great quality wins and some pretty good fun locker room experiences and celebrations down at Bernie and against Woodland. We were able to knock off a Kenny team at the end of the year, which would make our first win in the SEMO conference since 2011-2012. We urge you guys that are going to stay around for next year to start now and finish at the start at the level we finished at this year. We are extremely proud of you guys, and we're already excited for the next season. Will you varsity guys go ahead and come up here? As they're coming up, I'm going to tell you who they are, and Kyle's going to give them their certificate. Austin Chester, Ethan Flowers, Tyler Heil, Gabe Jackson, Jason Gerald, Noah Cronk, Addison Moore, Jacob Tedigo, Peyton Pollock, Matt Sims, and Adam Bell. When I call your name, please step forward. We'll go seniors first. Noah Cronk. Noah was a blue-collar guy for our team. He showed up to practice each day and never complained. He had some outstanding nights this year, shutting down some of the best players in our county. He ended up serving as a leader for our team by his actions and his words. He will be forever remembered by the Cronk shot. Peyton Pollock. Peyton exhibited great poise and composure all year long. He spent little time in the spotlight, but played a pivotal role for our team this year. Whether it was securing a big rebound or hitting someone on a block out, he showed toughness by taking some hard hits and always getting back up. That will serve him well as he goes on to play football at SBU. Matt Sims, without a doubt, Matt was one of our fan favorites. He definitely lightened the mood in the locker room, and a few times even on the bench with his personality and his antics. He was just a super teammate. He was a nice addition to our team. Coach Dowdy will also miss you stopping by every day for second hour talks. These three guys will definitely be missed next year. They serve as outstanding role models for all of our underclassmen. We feel privileged of having the opportunity to coach each one of you guys, and we wish you the best of luck for your future endeavors. Now for the awards. The first award I'm going to give out is kind of what Kyle gave out for the JV, is the 110% award. This award goes to two young men that worked hard and truly went above and beyond to become better basketball players, and those two players are Ethan Flowers and Jason Gerald. The rebounding award goes to Jason Gerald. He averaged 6.4 rebounds. Free throw award goes to Austin Chester. His free throw percentage 87.7%, 57 of 65. Austin will also be recognized on March 25th at the SEMO Conference Banquet for having the highest free throw percentage in the SEMO Conference. The last two awards were voted on by the team. The defensive award goes to Noah Cronk. And the MVP award goes to Jason Gerald. Once again, thank you guys. It was wonderful coaching you. I know for me, Kyle's first year, and we can't wait for next year. Thank you. Up next, we have Coach Boyer, Coach Lee with the wrestling program.
Would the wrestlers come forward, please? While they're coming forward, I'd like to thank a few people, starting off with Mr. Erhan. He does a great job scheduling and all of our bus times. We're always tweaking our schedule, trying to find the best competition. Requires a ton of travel. We go to St. Louis, Kansas City, all over. He understands that. He's very supportive of it. Kim Waldner and Eric Bose are running our clock. The stat girls, Rachel Huntsman, Lauren Rauscher, and my daughter Allison, they do a great job keeping stats, filming. This sport is so much stat driven. They do a great job. Rachel, she takes care of these boys, makes some cookies and stuff, and Allison, she did some tutoring for us to help keep some of our wrestlers eligible. Dance team, making signs and homecoming decorations. Parents, thanks a lot for getting your kids to the bus on time, picking them up. You know, it's a lot of weird hours. Never had one complaint from a parent as long as we've been doing this. And we coach these kids hard, and I really appreciate that. Coach Boyer, can't say enough about him. He's going back to school to be a coach. He's full-time in college, and we have to, he's here all the time, takes his tests around our travel. When we're coaching together, we're both on the same sheet of music, and he does a great job. All I can say is hurry up. I don't know how long I can hang on. To my wife, it's a long season. I'm very supportive. I've seen her more this year because Allison was with the team, so she don't trust me with her, I guess. Fans and supporters, whether you came and watched them wrestle or on social media or just your kind words or supporting us in ways that I probably can't say, we really appreciate it. These guys, they put in a lot of hard work. Our season, we had another successful year. We went 8-3 in duels, losing to Jackson, Sykeston, and Bluff. Tournament-wise, we started the year at the Sykeston duels. We went 5-0 there, but we lost the tournament championship to Sykeston by criteria. They scored more team points than us. Next weekend, we went to McClure South Berkeley. That's in Ferguson. Yes, we went. Great school there. It's a really nice school. Indoor swimming pools, they got everything. We won that 13-team tournament. We won that. Yeah, we had a few people that wouldn't go. But anyway, next weekend we traveled to Kansas City. While they were on Christmas break, we went to Kansas City. Toughest tournament of the year. It's like 34 teams there. We finished 18th out of that 34, so kind of brought these kids back down to earth. And came back after that. St. John duels, got third place in it. Next weekend we went to Owensville. We won that tournament by like 116 points over the next team. Next weekend, SEMO Conference. Got 5th out of 12 teams. We had five medal winners this year. Ethan Stevens, he won 170-pound weight class. I don't know when's the last time we had a SEMO Conference champion. Seth Harris, freshman, he got 4th. Seth Rush, another freshman, 2nd place. Dylan Nazarian, senior, he got 3rd, and Storm Massey, a junior, got 3rd. That's pretty much the varsity. Our JV kids, wrestling numbers as a whole, for most people are down. We're still holding pretty good numbers, around 30 kids, but JV kids went to 3 tournaments, and they got a lot of valuable experience. JV guys just keep working, keep coming out. Finished up the year at the district tournament. Took 13 wrestlers to the district tournament, and we qualified 11 of those for the state tournament. Last year we took 10, this year 11. For the third year in the row, we got second place to St. Jean. St. Jean, very talented, very senior laden. I think next year may be our year. At the district tournament, we had 3 district champions. 160 pounds senior Dylan Bazarian, he's a 3-time district champion. At 170 pounds, Ethan Stevens, he's also a 3-time district champ. And our third champ was Jared Deal. Jared had a real good year, broke out year, basically 33 wins. He finished second in team points this year. Had a very good season. Of those 11 we took to the state tournament, lost 7 of them the first day. It's a different animal when you get up there. We try to travel and see that competition, but once you get there, it's a real eye-opener to a lot of kids, and you just never know until you get there. Next day we lost 3 more. We lost Seth Harris, freshman. Great job. Lost Dylan Bazarian, senior. He lost in overtime in a match. And Storm Massey, a junior, he lost by 1 point to a kid from St. Jean that he'd wrestled 3 times this year. And, he lost it at the end. So all these kids, very tough competitor. That left Ethan. He's still alive on Friday. He came back that night and he beat a kid 4-2 Friday night to assure himself of a medal. 5 years in a row we've had a state medalist, so it's hard, and he's just got to keep getting better. Ethan went to the state tournament. He's 35-0 heading into that. The same kid beat him twice. He ended up 35-2. So Ethan, he's on the Trevor Waldner plan. He says Trevor got 4th his junior year and wanted a senior, and Ethan, he's always trying to one-up Trevor. So your work's cut out for you. I'll move on to the seniors. I'm just going to talk a little bit about each senior, and we'll hand out their deeds. Letters. Our first senior is Dylan Bazarian. Dylan's a 4-year varsity wrestler. He ended his career with a record of 126-31. Of his 126 wins, 98 were by pin. He's a 4-time state qualifier and a 3-time district champion. We will miss his leadership in the room next year. Our next senior is Cameron Kraft. I don't see him here tonight. But, Cameron, he's also a 4-year wrestler. He was a 2-time state qualifier and won the Most Improved Wrestler Award his sophomore year. This year, Cameron, he never could get down to weigh. He heavyweight, but you got to weigh under 285 to wrestle, and we just couldn't get it off of him this year. But he came to practice every day and did everything that we asked of him, and he made our heavier wrestlers a lot better. Chance Gerald, he's not here also, another 4-year wrestler. Brandon Katermas, yet another 4-year wrestler. Brandon spent most of his time the past 2 years in the varsity lineup. Brandon got to the bubble match the past 2 years, but he never could just get over the hump to win that match to move on to state. Our next senior is Aaron Sandlin. Aaron's a 4-year wrestler, but injuries kept him off the mat most of the time. Aaron was having a pretty solid year this year. Filling in, he medaled at 2 big tournaments. Then he blew his knee out again at Jackson, so he was finished. Dalton Toomey, another 4-year wrestler. Solid backup when he needed him. He won first place at the Clear South Berkeley tournament. Dalton, he was just stuck in the middle of some of our toughest kids. Massey, Bazarian, Stevens. I mean, he would wrestle off for the positions, but he just never could break through. But once we took him places, he did well. So that just kind of tells you the type of competitor he is. Our last senior is Brandon Witt. Brandon, a 4-year wrestler. But Cameron was always in front of him. He could never beat Cameron. This year, Cameron couldn't make weight, so there steps in Brandon. Doesn't miss a beat. Had a great year, finished second in districts, first trip to the state tournament. it just goes to show you younger kids, if you stay the course and put in your time, good things will happen. For those 7 kids, I've coached you the last 4 years, 3 of them as the head coach, and I couldn't be any more prouder of you. I just want to say I know whatever you choose to do in life will be very successful. We'll hand out the rest of the letters right now. Jared Deal, like I said, Jared, state qualifier, very successful year. Seth Harris, littlest guy on the team, got the most nicknames. This kid can go. Just wait. He wrestled 106 this year, weighing about 98 pounds. Wait till he gets a full 106. Michael Hurst, another 2-time state qualifier. Storm Massey, 3-time state qualifier. James Mullins, 2-time state qualifier. James came back this year after sitting out his sophomore year due to injury. Sky's the limit. He puts in the work. Seth Rush isn't here. He's a freshman. He's a state qualifier. I'm probably more proud of Seth in the classroom. He was really struggling when he got here, and thanks to the teachers, his mom, and Allison, he's doing a lot better, and he's going to make it. Ethan Stevens, you know Ethan. You probably think these guys up here are pretty stupid, but we're always learning in the wrestling room. Next time you get a dull moment, ask Ethan about dictatorship versus democracy. Yeah, it's a dictatorship in the room. You know it. Matt Stone, another freshman. Matt stayed the course. Very proud of Matt. He did not win a match all year, but he came back and fought every time. He got a lot better. It takes a lot of effort to keep doing that. Brandon Toomey, another 2-time state qualifier. Gavin White, he's not here tonight, 2-time state qualifier. Houston Burnett, he's going to get a provisional letter. Logan Elder, provisional letter. Logan, he stepped up and wrestled quite a few varsity matches, just enough to letter. I'm sure he'll be in the lineup next year. And Nate Weathers, he was injured. So that's all those. These guys got me on a stopwatch, so I got to hurry up. Wrestling, we give out 3 awards. First award is the most improved. Most improved wrestler this year goes to Michael Hurst. Mike is a 2-time state qualifier and really came on this year, finishing 28-11 after being 15-15 last year. Michael last year, he was in and out of the lineup. This year, he was there all year. Continue to look for good things out of him next year. The next award is most aggressive. This award goes to Ethan Stevens. When Ethan wrestles, the sky's the limit with him. When he stays focused, he's virtually unstoppable. He's got goals. He's always trying to beat his brother, Cody. He was a 2-time state medalist, trying to beat the takedown record. He didn't quite get there this year. Earlier in the year, Ethan wants to be in the spotlight. All 6 minutes, he's out there wrestling. So, as the year went on, he decided, I'm going to get out there and get this over. So, that's what kept him from breaking the record this year. Third award we'll give is the most valuable. This award probably could have went to about 3 or 4 kids this year. But in the end, me and Coach Boyer, we looked at the whole body of work throughout this wrestler's career. And this award goes to senior Dylan Mazarian. As I stated before, Dylan's a 4-time state qualifier, 3-time district champion, finished his career with 126 wins. We'd like for Dylan to have been a little bit more successful at the state tournament, but it seemed like at least 3 of the 4 years he drew a District 4 opponent, and that is Kansas City. And when you run up against a Kansas City opponent, I don't care who it is, it's tough sledding. I just want to say thanks, guys, for putting in the work. You guys deserve everything that you got. We're not finished. We got to keep getting better. We got to travel more. We got to work harder. And that's pretty well all I got to say. Thank you.
This time, Coach Allen and Coach Seifert for the girls basketball.
You girls want to come on up. All of you, go ahead and come on up. Alright, I'm going to talk about the JV a little bit. In the past, I haven't got this opportunity because we don't have a JV certificate. So this year was good. We have a JV team. We got to play JV games. We have a good time. Fortunately, I got to grab some of the varsity girls, play them down on JV. I didn't ask Chad this year, I just took them. last few years, I've kind of, well, how many quarters can I have? And he would tell me. So this year, I just didn't ask, I just said, come on, have it. But we did a lot of, it took us a little while to get going because I had to figure out how I would play them. Sometimes I played 4 or 5 of the varsity girls together, and then we ended up splitting them up a little bit and spread them out throughout the game. So finally, about toward the end of the last few games, I think I finally got to figure out the best combination. We had a really good game, our last game. I heard parents in the stands, good job, Megan, good job, Alan. You know, they're hollering in the stands. I'm happy, everybody's happy. We're winning the game. That didn't happen all year. Not those positive comments, but they really grew up a lot during the course of the year, and I think they really had fun that last game, last couple games, last few weeks. I want to introduce the players as I go down the line here. Just step forward as I introduce your name, girls. Harley Allen, Madison Crockett, Kristen Garrison played some JV for us, Sydney Gathings, Cheyenne Mosby, Sydney Rogers, Olivia Seitz, Hannah Thurman, Megan Trout, and Madeline Webb. Miss Webb, you have done a great job in raising a polite girl there. You have made my job a lot harder, I can tell you that. Madeline was my favorite pick-on player most of the time, and she probably thinks I'm half crazy, but that's okay. We had a lot of fun. Girls, I want to congratulate you on a good season. I'm looking forward to having you back next year. Keep working at it, all right? Be coachable. It's been a really good year, and I've had a good time. Thanks for playing.
First off, I'd like to thank Jim Riker, Scott Nelson, and Matt Thurman for broadcasting our games on Live 90.3. They do a great job for us. Also like to thank Barry McEwen for keeping the book. Even though he would help me ref, from time to time over the other side. I also like to thank Mr. Erhan for working with us on strengthening our schedule. Definitely like to thank my wife. It's hard. It's definitely hard being a coach's wife, especially since we're gone so much. Start in August and don't finish up till usually middle of March, which Coach Sykes goes a little longer. You know, he coaches golf, so he goes into the school year. So he stays busy all year long. And again, last but not least, you know, I definitely have to thank Coach Sykes, you know, for making me look good. I'm taller than him. I have a little less gray hair, and I'm just better looking. He's been a tremendous asset to our program, and you know, I remember 7 years ago, I believe, I asked him if he would help me out, and it took him a while. I mean, I think he just thought, well, girls basketball, I don't know. But he loves it now. He'll definitely tell you he loves it. And you know, there's no doubt without him, this program would not be where it is today. Of course, our record this year was 17-10. You know, with that said, you know, we played the toughest schedule out of anybody in Southeast Missouri, and you know, it definitely paid off. This girls got a lot of good experience. We won our 5th straight district championship this year. We also won another SEMO conference title for the 5th time. And, you know, we've just been blessed to have really good athletes. And to think, you know, that what all we accomplished this year, just, you know, having 3 upperclassmen. And right now, I'd like to go ahead and pass out the letter winners. If I could get those names, because you know me, I'll forget names if I don't actually see it. All right, Harley Allen. Kristen Garrison, but she's not here today. Melanie McEwen. Diane Mosby. Katie Riker. Dakota Reynolds. Sydney Rogers. Anna Thurman. Of course, we just had one senior this year, and you know, I'm glad that Katie Riker came back out and played this year. Not only what she brought on the basketball court, but off the court as well. You know, throughout the course of the season, you're always going to have a little bit of adversity. And of course, you know, with girls, you might have a little drama. Nah, they really didn't have any drama. Trust me, these girls get along real well together. But, you know, Katie's definitely one that they can lean on. And she's very, very intelligent. And by the way, she doesn't know this yet, but, you know, she's going to make the academic All-State this year, which qualifications to make an academic All-State, you have to have a 27 or higher on the ACT, and your grade point average has to be above a 3.25. So she definitely does well in the classroom. Not only that, but you know, she's just such a great Christian young lady, and I know she's going to do well in life, and we're definitely going to miss you, Katie. And the other 2 upperclassmen we had was Dakota Reynolds and Melanie McEwen. And I can tell you right now, these 2 deserve a lot of credit for this year's success. You know, they both had to step up. You know, from what we lost last year, they both really had to step up and look to score more, and they definitely did that. I think Melanie averaged about 15 points a game, and Dakota averaged about 11.5 points a game. But not only that, they both create for everyone else and each other. And when you have 2 girls, you know, that can do that, it makes your season as a coach a whole lot easier. And I know these 2 girls will definitely step up even more next year. We also had 3 sophomores that played up on varsity, and that's Sydney Rogers, Harley Allen, and Cheyenne Mosby. And, you know, they really contributed a lot this year, whether it was, you know, handling the ball or hitting a 3 or pulling down a lot of rebounds. And, you know, I'm looking forward to see how these girls, you know, progress. We also had 2 freshmen that played on varsity, Hannah Thurman and Kristen Garrison. And with losing the girls that we had last year, we lost a lot of height. And these girls really stepped up this year. Kristen averaged 14 points and 7 rebounds a game, and Hannah averaged 11 points and 10.5 rebounds a game. And not only that, but Hannah also had 114 blocked shots this year, which was an average of 4.2 a game. It's just incredible to think what these two girls have accomplished this year as freshmen. For the awards, since we finished up last night, we hadn't had a chance to meet together as a team, so we're actually not going to give out the awards tonight, but we have other awards that can be announced now, and these girls don't know this yet, but we had 3 girls who made first team all-conference, Melanie McEwen, Dakota Reynolds, and Kristen Garrison. Hannah Thurman received the honorable mention in all-conference. And we have our CMO conference banquet March 25th, and some of them could possibly get other conference awards, at that time, but I can't say anything about it right now. Also, we had 3 girls made all-district, and that would be Melanie McEwen, Dakota Reynolds, and Kristen Garrison. Well, if you was at the game last night, it was definitely a tough loss, tough game. A lot of people thought this was going to be a rebuilding year, and these girls definitely proved that they had what it takes to make a run come playoff time, and we're that close making it to the Elite Eight. There's only 8 teams left in the state, but with pretty much everyone coming back and experience that we received, I'm really looking forward to next year, and the future of LVB looks very promising. Thanks, ladies.
At this time, Mrs. Kirkley and Mrs. Dimmer will come forward for the cheerleading.
Girls, if you could come out now. Okay, I want to start with my thank yous like everyone else has. I first want to start with thanking the administration, Mr. Pollock and Mr. Irvine, with my numerous requests. And I will express the word numerous because I have lots. I also want to thank Mrs. Deal and Mrs. Dowdy. Mrs. Deal is here. We had an elementary cheer camp, and if anybody came to that girls' ball game, we had over 100 little girls, which is a lot. And so these principals had to help us organize, and I had to say I'm sorry to Miss Deal 1,000 times because I don't work with little kids. I have some, but I don't work with little children. And so she had to help me a lot because we were over at Southwest. We had to take them to the VEC. We had to work with parents. We had to get their notes in their backpack. Oh, it was a mess. But she helped. She helped a lot. And I could not have done it without her. So if she's here, are you here, Miss Dill? Thank you so much. But I do think the little girls really had a good time. Our big girls, it was a lot of work. But we did have a good time, but it was a lot of work. But it was fun. I also wanted to thank Coach Sneed and Mr. Sparlin for my several requests of going in and saying, will you make us a CD? And he did it without ever asking more than once. So I do appreciate that because I can't really do that. So thank you. I also want a D. Thanks for your many, many pictures. I rely on those, so do appreciate that. I'm always in the moment, and I don't ever get the pictures myself, so thank you very much. Booster Club, thank you for our new flags. We were only able to use them one time, but in the future we will use them every ball game. So if anybody saw our last home football game, we have some new DHS flags. Did I say something? What did I say? Oh, I'm sorry. That's wrong. Anyway, we'll use them in the future. Love them. They're very nice. Community support. We really appreciate all the community support, especially when they flip. Everybody likes that. Mr. Mayo, we really appreciate your support because you know our cheers. Where are you, Mr. Mayo? I know you're here. Is he not here? Oh, doggone it. Because he always cheers with us, so we really appreciate that. Coaches and players, we do appreciate your support. Coach Dowdy really helped us out at the county tournament. I told him we were only being judged for one ball game this year, and so I told him, you need to call every full timeout that you can call. I think it's 4, so you better call them. And so we were winning by 20-something points, and he called a full timeout. And a few minutes later, he called another full timeout, and I'm like, I don't think he needs to do that, but he did it for us. So that was for us, so we could go out on the floor and be judged on our stuff. So I appreciate that, because he kept looking at me, kind of shaking his head, because he knew he didn't have to do that. Parents, of course, we always appreciate the parents. Half our squad are freshmen, they don't drive, so of course, you're getting them to practice. We do appreciate you allowing them to ride with our older girls, because that's an iffy thing, so we do appreciate that. I know you have to let go a little bit, but we do appreciate you letting go a little bit and allowing that. And also, some of you dads became cheer dads. I appreciate that. Saw that during county tournament. It was very exciting. And last but not least, I appreciate these 14 girls. Many, many hours of practice. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. I'm not really sick, but I'm losing my voice. Many hours of practice, and it's all their practice that make us look good. So I appreciate that. All right.
And just to talk a little bit about our season, we got back-to-back county champions, so we did win county again, and that was slightly in part to Coach Dowdy and the basketball team calling all of those timeouts for us. When you're winning by 20 or 25 points, normally you don't have a timeout. And I think we had 3 in the 4th quarter. Very important to us, and the girls really worked hard, so we got to show what we practiced for. We had 5 girls that made all county. All the county teams go for this 12 spots, and we had 5 of them from Dexter, so that's huge. We have 3 seniors this year, McKinley, Cheyenne, and Courtney. They are entertaining, and they are dedicated.
Sometimes dramatic.
And we are going to miss them. They're flexible, always willing to do anything that we ask, to come up late, to come up early, to work on cheers, to come up with things, and we appreciate them. And all of our girls, they're great athletes on the floor, but as a coach, you don't just want a great performing athlete on the floor. You want the quality character, and you want to see them doing well in the classroom, and these girls have that, all 14 of them. We're very, very proud of them, and looking forward to a good season next year.
Okay, we'll start with the freshmen. We have Morgan Aldridge, and we have Lexi Barnes, and we have Macy Daniels. I guess I'll just go where they're standing. Bailey Williams, and Miss Addie Cruz. Rylan Hillis is sick, so she is not here. So we have lots of freshmen on our squad. And then for our sophomores, we have Macy Graves, and we have Emily Page. She's not going over. We have Emily Page. We have Kelsey Kendrick. And we have Ashlyn Wyman. Is that all the sophomores? Yeah. Okay, that's all the sophomores. We have our lonely junior, Victoria Trammell. And then we have our 3 awesome seniors that I will miss horribly. Courtney Potts, who's just getting over his sickness, must be going around. And we have Cheyenne Gines. And we have McKinley Rogers. So, our 14 varsity cheerleaders.
At this time, we would like to recognize the first-time letter winners. The Booster Club purchases the D for the first-time letter winners. Mr. Travis Miller will be the Booster Club president, will present the letters. As I call your name, please come forward and receive your letter. Please hold your applause until all the names have been announced, okay? We'll do it by sport, okay? The first sport will be for dance. Brooke Anderson, please come forward. Hannah Gibson. Angel Mace. Melissa McEwen. And Meg Simmons. Congratulations, ladies. Come on board. We'll take group pictures when we get down here, okay? Next is boys basketball. Addison Moore. Adam Webb. Please come forward. Guys in the back. Same thing we did every day, right, Adam?
I did it.
Yes.
It's just like, it's for the bar. It's not even where you're getting.
All right. Congratulations, gentlemen. Next up, we will have wrestling, first-time letter winners. Seth Harris, Seth Rush, and Max Stone. Congratulations, gentlemen. Girls basketball. Harley Allen, Cheyenne Mosby, Katie Riker, Sydney Rogers, and Hannah Thurman. Please come forward, ladies. Congratulations. Cheerleading, first-time letter winners. Morgan Aldrich, Macy Daniels, Ryland Hillis, Addie Cruz, and Bailey Williams. Please come forward, ladies. Congratulations. I have an announcement to make before we finish up here. Just want to let you know the Booster Club will be selling T-shirts in the lobby after we complete the program. They will also have scholarship applications available for this year's seniors. So parents, please pick up an application if you have a senior student athlete. At this time, I would like for all the senior winter athletes to stand, please. At this time, I would like to give you guys a great big round of applause for your efforts, for all the time and dedication you put forward.